Hello, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this new episode of Inspiring Our World. My name is Julie Tara. I'm your Nikken Wellness Ambassador. And today I'm thrilled to have one of my favorite consultants on the call with me, Rapp. Herb and I go back a long ways. We've been friends forever, right, Herb? 28 years or so?
Right, yeah.
I love working with Herb because he is a mine of information, and you're going to learn a lot today about our subject, which is sleep. So please don't fall asleep as we talk. No, you won't, because this is going to be exciting. Herb, I have the utmost admiration for you, for your life, for your work with Nikken, for your work in athletics as a tennis pro. Really, I couldn't say enough great things about you. You win every contest Nikken ever has. You are an exemplary consultant on every level. And so thank you for taking time out. I know you have a very busy life. I really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure, Julie. Always great to be with you.
Thank you so much. And I know we're going to chat about sleep, and I'm thrilled about this because I know you know a lot about it. What I would like to do for our viewers and our listeners here is to really talk about why we're not sleeping, really talk about the problems that we're having, and then go into more of the solutions around sleep, of which there are many. And of course, Nikken's a highlight with that. And then talk a little about the growth in the sleep industry and what that means for business and business builders. So is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So, Herb, why aren't we sleeping? What the heck is going on?
Well, to start with, Julie, nearly every habit we as Americans have is contrary to good sleep. We like to drink coffee. We have a love affair with coffee. Coffee disturbs the sleep cycle. We go to bed too late. You're supposed to be away from the TV or the media like a computer for 2 hours before you go to sleep, because your biorhythms are all messed up when you're watching television. Okay, the need for sleep is critical, and we're not taught anything in college about how to take care of our bodies. And the number one way to take care of your health is to sleep well. If you're not sleeping well, you are headed toward a major health problem. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. 85% of the repair going on in the human body goes on at night, and we're not taught that. 85% of the repair. So going back to the habits we have, a lot of people like to have a nice big steak at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. That doesn't digest at all overnight, and it causes all kinds of chemical reactions all night long while you're trying to stay asleep. It also makes you toss and turn. And tossing and turning on average for the average American is 50 to 120 times a night. There's 5 cycles of sleep. The first 4 are for the body. The 5th is for the mind. And if you're tossing and turning, you constantly are reawakening yourself and going back to the first category. The 5th cycle is where you hit REM sleep, and that's where you hit the brain recovery. But as you look around America, you can't find anybody that's thinking clearly. The brain is not getting recovered. So just think of that. If the 5th stage is hardly ever being reached, then the brain is suffering big time. So to give you an idea, if you have a bad night's sleep, you can reduce your immune system by up to 60%.
Wow.
In one bad night's sleep. And unfortunately, a lot of people, going way back 20 years, it was a badge of merit that you would stay up late doing your homework and doing your work. You stay late at the office and be up late. And one of the things I learned when I did my research for the sleep chapter in my book, Fit to Win, was that, repairing the body is critical. And most people, they go to bed after 12 o'clock, they're headed toward all kinds of sleep disorders. And we're creatures of habit. So if our habit is to go to bed late, well, not only are we not going to have our highest performance during the following day, but you're not going to get much recovery. And another exciting thing to know about, and makes you want to go to bed a little bit earlier, is that between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, it's either the kidney or liver. One's 10 to 2, one's 11 to 1. They both detox. And if you're not asleep, you're not detoxing very much. So those are 2 critical areas for the body's, the health of the body, is to detox those 2 organs. So there's so much statistical information about sleep, and we're contrary to almost everything. Watching movies that get us excited. I know that if I watch a basketball game, they start on the East Coast a little bit late, and they're done around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I've got so much adrenaline in my body from watching that game. I take 90 minutes to go to sleep.
Yes.
Now, sometimes I would talk to people about sleep and they say, oh, I sleep great. My head hits the pillow and I fall asleep instantly. That's a sleep disorder. You should take 10 minutes to fall asleep. So if your body's just drained because you don't sleep well, your body will fall asleep almost instantly hitting the pillow. Well, people think that means I sleep well. No, that means you've got a sleep disorder. And these sleep clinics are opening up all over the country. They're very busy. And I know when I was growing up, I never heard of sleep apnea. I never imagined putting a mask on my face. You can't believe how many Americans are dealing with a sleep apnea mask, which has got to be completely contrary to be able to sleep comfortably. Because breathing and going along with sleep is critical. It's a big part of the energy system of the body is how well you breathe. So those are just a few of the things that that I find are just so critical to understand.
Let's talk about like sleep apnea. Like I never heard of that either, and as a child, never saw anyone with any apparatus like that. And now I hear that even children are being sort of diagnosed with this. Like what is that about?
Well, in some cases, it's basically not breathing at night. You skip some breaths and you basically are depriving yourself, and it can lead to death. And that's why that sleep mask was one of their first things. And they've got another thing now that's a monitor you put on your pajamas and you sleep with it, and it'll help wake you up basically if you're missing your breathing. But I don't know all the details of it, but I talk to a lot of people when they talk about sleep. They say, oh, my wives will say, my husband got a sleep apnea machine and it's miserable because he doesn't feel comfortable. If you turn over, it jams into your face and stuff. So, it's just one of those things that has become prevalent in people, and a lot of times it's people overweight that have to deal with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like a lot of times people are overweight, and that seems to affect, and I'm sure diet, if you're eating a lot of, food that clogs up the lymph system, like dairy food and so forth, I bet that has a real, impact on it. But it is sort of ubiquitous and it's disturbing. I mean, sleep is a natural thing. We sleep a third of our lives, and we've, ever since human beings came to this planet, whatever, we've slept, and we know we have to. That's the primary indicator for a good health, right? Is good sleep. So the fact that so many people are having a problem with this very area is of great concern. And of course we see, just health statistics. I mean, it's going crazy right now. I mean, I know you're very good with statistics. So like even overweight and obesity, I think it's over 65% now of North Americans, isn't it, that are overweight?
80% are overweight.
80%?
I'm not sure. Yeah, 80% are overweight. I'm not sure where that obesity fits in, but yeah, it's a national pastime. All you have to do is watch the television shows. The television shows don't have slim people anymore. It's mostly people that are carrying extra weight.
Oh, that's interesting. I never watch TV, so I wouldn't even know that actually. But yeah,
commercials. Look at the people on commercials. They're mostly people carrying extra weight.
So that's got to be an indicator there of then having trouble when you're laying on your back. You're laying flat, of having difficulty breathing. It's just so sad. It's just ubiquitous, is what I would say. Again, is it's like everybody, or not everyone, but many people are having huge issues with sleep, and if that one is kind of knocked out, then everything else I think will compound. Right? You're going to just have difficulties in the day.
Let me share another one's real interesting, and I embraced this a long time ago when I first heard about it. The sleep studies and the science behind it, they've come up with a pretty interesting statistic that the minutes you sleep before midnight are equal to 2 minutes after midnight.
I've read that too. Yes, that's amazing.
I love that. And I had a friend, I had a gentleman I met in tennis. He was a former #1 player in America, and he really understood sleep for his own body. He went to bed at 1:00 in the afternoon, pulled all the blinds, got the room super dark, and he slept for an hour every day, religiously doing that. And he lived into his late 90s or early 100s with that strategy. But basically, the average person couldn't tell you 10 things that are important about sleep, even 5 for that matter. And once again, it's one of the biggest gatekeepers for your health. If you're sleeping well, you can really fight off a lot of things. And what you want to do is avoid the things. You do not want to get them and then solve the problem. You want to avoid them.
Right.
And mental acuity is strictly tied to your sleep.
Yeah, and that's a biggie since we're seeing this huge growth in mental disorders of all kinds, and also dementia and Alzheimer's and everything else. I know for myself, I know that, there are certain protocols I have in place. Like I don't eat much sugar anyway, but if I did, I mean, I'm not having it in the evening, that's for sure. Like if you eat a little piece of chocolate or whatever, that would affect my sleep. I turn the Wi-Fi off completely at night before I go to bed. And like you said, I try to not look at the screens, which is hard, because sometimes I'll watch a movie on the computer, but I try not to do that late. And I'd rather just read a book, and not on Kindle with the artificial light, but just a regular book with a regular light. And that way I find I kind of prepare myself for sleep. And then you can do things like chamomile tea and everything else. So there are things I think that make a huge difference that way. And I know people are addicted to their phones for sure. And I just put it away. And I also don't have it ever beside me when I sleep. Because I think that the EMF issue is a very real issue. So I put it away, turn it on sleep mode, and put it away. The Wi-Fi is turned off, and recharge it overnight someplace else, but not anywhere near me. So those are a few things that I've done. But of course, one of the exciting things that we have with Nikken is we do have amazing solutions for supporting our health. So let's please say anything else you'd like to say about the issues of the problems, and then we'll go into the solution.
One last thing that just came to mind is one of our national pastimes is alcohol.
Right.
Alcohol disturbs the sleep cycle big time. Many times you'll have alcohol, you think, oh, I fall asleep so quick. Well, you wake up earlier. You wake up in the middle of the night. And for seniors, 60, 65 and over, sleeping through the night is a rare situation. Most everybody gets up, goes to the bathroom multiple times. And when we talk about our products, I'll share how our wonderful technologies will keep you sleeping longer and then help you fall asleep quicker when you come back to bed.
Oh, well, let's go there, because this is so important. I know we need at least 7 to 9 hours a night. I know for me about 8 is perfect, from like about 10 until 6. That seems to work very well for me. How many hours do you sleep?
Well, what I would say about that 10 to 6 is that, to me, from what I've learned, when it comes to detoxing, like I said, the kidney and the liver, that 10 to 6 is perfect. We know that our sleep system, by limiting the times you toss and turn, you're going to get to that REM sleep quicker and more often. So I found myself, well, the first night I slept on the sleep system, I woke up 1 hour and 45 minutes before the alarm clock went off, which was the first time as an adult. And so what I would share with people is you all want to have what's called a natural wake up. You do not want to wake up to an alarm clock. Well, what is a natural wake up? That's your body telling you that it's done repairing. You're ready to go. So you want to have a natural wake up. So when I found Nikken and I found my ability to set my hours, I didn't have a job to report to. I loved a natural wake up every morning, and I made sure I got that.
Yes.
And that makes a big difference. Your day is always great when you get a natural wake up, and instead of an alarm clock and it's dark outside and the people had to drive an hour and a half. I'm in Atlanta right now, Julie, and the average commute is an hour both ways, 2 hours per family. So yeah, our products are just amazing. And I was a testimonial to people that I would tell about our products, because my muscles in my back were so tight that I couldn't play professional tennis. I had back trouble, and the first night I woke up in the morning, my sheets hadn't even moved. I pulled my sheets over, pulled them back, and my bed was made. And normally I kicked the sheets all over the place. So tossing and turning was cut by 75 to 100%. And I woke up in the morning, clear sinuses. That was an amazing thing with the pillow. There's so many things about the awareness that the Japanese had about sleep. In fact, they study it like they studied everything. And one of the things that I was impressed with that I didn't ever think I could get to like was that brick of a pillow. And we had a brick for the beginning, but I found out that, oh my goodness, your head has to cool 1.7 degrees before you can fall asleep. And the American way is to sink your head into a pillow, and all your orifices are in a pillow. Whereas if your head's above it, you can cool much more rapidly. And that's why when you go into the woods at night, you'll have your body warm, but your head cool. That's the perfect sleeping scenario.
Yes.
So the sleep system is designed really to give us what we need. And the pillow was such a surprise that one of the doctors did a study and found that the most important part of your body to have in our magnetics technology is the head, because the brain is the decision maker for everything going on, all the repair of the body, and the fluid movement in the body. That's something that the brain dictates everything. So the more you can sleep better and comfortably, the better job the body does, because the body wants you to recover. That's the direction the body wants to go. It never says, oh, toss and turn, we know that we have to pay attention to sleep. So those are a couple of the things. The sleep mask, I keep 2 on me all the time, Julie, because it's just been unbelievable, because it got the red out of my eyes for the first time. Being a tennis pro, I was always in the sun. Even though I wore sunglasses, it would get into my eyes, and I woke up with bloodshot eyes for 27 years. When that sleep mask came along, I had no more bloodshot eyes. My breathing was comfortable. I don't know, it's almost like I had a face massage going to bed at night. So I woke up in the morning totally comfortable. And then the fact that I didn't toss and turn, the combination of the sleep mask and everything about it was just amazing. And I have a lot of people that when I was teaching tennis would come into my tennis shop and they would say things like, okay, what are you doing? How does it come you don't have a lot of wrinkles? And for whatever reason, that sleep mask and what it does, it just, a lot of my wrinkles from teaching tennis for 35 years kind of seemed to go away. And I've just had a blessing that no red eyes was my favorite, though.
Well, I mean, of course, we never make medical claims with any of our technologies, but we do know that biomimicry is the way to go, and that when we work with nature, the body really likes that. And so it sounds like, so when we use these products like a sleep mask, that it just supported your body in doing what your body wanted to do, which was to rest well and to help your eyes so you would see well the next day and so forth. It's just really phenomenal. I mean, just go back to the pillow for a minute. I've used every pillow Nikken's ever come out with, and the Makura pillow, the new pillow, is to me the most comfortable, the most extraordinary, it's just perfect for my head, my neck, my needs, for and like you said, as we get a little bit older, sleep might be a little harder to come by, or waking up or whatever. But I just find, well, it's not just the pillow, right? It's the whole system. But that pillow is a huge, exciting new development, I will say. I don't think anyone in the world has a pillow like the Makura pillow. And then we've got the Kenko Fit, the Naturist Kenko Fit, which I love. And then the comforter, which I have found to be an absolute godsend, I'm going to say too. Just that sleeping calm and sleeping at just the right temperature, not too hot, not too cold. It's just perfect. It's heaven.
Even people in Florida, we have warmer temperatures. The Dream Light, the Nature Fit light. It's just amazing that there's nothing. I just left town for 2 days. And I just said, we were going to stay up in the mountains for 4 days. I said, honey, let's get back. I really miss my sleep system because I sleep so well. And the fact that I'm still playing competitive tennis, you don't want to miss 2 nights of having that relaxation and not tossing and turning and waking up feeling refreshed rather than waking up with your eyes just a little bit heavy. I take my sleep mask with me all the time. But yes, it's unprecedented. And the benefits I've been involved 28 years pretty much like you, the stories we've had of people just enjoying sleep for the first time in their life, and I think that's where I am. 28 years ago when I found the sleep system, that made the biggest difference, because like I said, I woke up an hour and 45 minutes before the alarm clock with energy I hadn't remembered having, and I didn't have to go to the bathroom with my eyes shut. They were wide open. I felt great.
And I noticed the same. I never use an alarm clock unless I maybe have a flight to catch and I'm a little nervous about that, so then I'll set it. Other than that, I wake up naturally every morning and I'm full of energy and really ready to go. Like you said, your body's repaired and you're like, it, and you're like, oh, it's a brand new day. Yay. And let's get on with the day. So that is a huge thing, because many people do drag themselves out of bed in the morning like they're in a fog. And I don't feel that way at all. And all of us that have used the sleep system I think we're so used to having fabulous sleep that we maybe forget sometimes even what it's like to not have good sleep.
Sometimes I think our prospects, the people we talk to, really can't believe that we sleep as well as we do, because there's no way to convey it. You can say the words, but until you sleep in that sleep system, you can't imagine how your body feels completely different. And I mean, I love the fact that they got energy in there, the tourmaline, that wonderful product, and this tourmaline's in the mask and in the cozy and the Bakura. I mean, I love it. When I thought there's no way they're going to have a better pillow than we've had, and sure enough, I had 2 or 3 people tell me, Herb, you will love it. And I finally got mine, and it was better than I'd ever slept. I stayed asleep longer, which is a beautiful thing, and that's where you get that fifth stage. And so anyway, just the idea that you can actually improve the most important aspect of repairing your body, improving your sleep.
Yeah, and that goes, hand in hand with sort of the whole, just looking younger, feeling younger. I think that's something everybody wants. And it's funny, I I meet people that are just like turning 40 or something and they start feeling old, and I'm like, no way, that's crazy. You're just 40, you shouldn't be feeling that way until at least we're 100. That's what I think.
Well, I think there's a large fraternity of people that are suffering with their health, and they all kind of commiserate with each other. And they've gotten to the point where people think suffering with your health is just the way it is. And
Yes.
they accept it. And Nikken, we just don't accept it at all, because we've been to the mountaintop when it comes to sleep. And I'd love to share, our products. And I've often times said, I just dare you to try the pillow. And I've never had anybody say that the pillow by itself didn't change their sleep, because that's if you can wake up with your eyes feeling good, you're breathing better, you're relaxed, your brain's doing a better job doing everything with the pillow. So that Makura has been one of my go-to. If you want to try something, want to spend a little money to see about sleep, that's a really good place. And I've never had anybody who didn't agree. This is the best sleep that I've gotten ever, just by trying the Makura pillow.
Oh, that's great to know. And I think many people have seen that with the cocoon as well. The cocoon is an easy thing to lend out, and people feel wonderful when they use the cocoon. It was actually my stepdaughter's birthday the other day, and I just gave her one of the cocoons, and she was so excited because she's always loved it, and she was always borrowing mine. So I was like, I know what to get her for her birthday. So,
well, a comment about the cocoon is that people, once again, if they got into cocoon alone, it would make a difference every time. And I think people are just kind of stuck in the idea that they can't sleep better. But I want to bring out one point is young people and the elderly people, 65, 75. I shouldn't say, I feel bad saying elderly at 65 and I'm 75. People in their 70s and 80s, they don't get a chance to try these technologies very often. But if you let them try it, they see a quantum leap. And I've seen so many young people just go bonkers over the sleep mask. So many young people are dealing with the pollen and all the stuff going on in the air. But generally, it's people like us when we found Nikken, and we saw the benefits dramatically. But think of all the young people and the older people that are suffering. Nearly everybody suffers with a sleep problem, one kind or another.
yes.
So if we loan the cocoon and the pillow, I tell people, listen, if you try this sleep mask and you don't want it, I'll buy it back. No one has ever returned it. And I've sold 15 or 20 a month when I was a tennis pro, because people I gave a lesson to Robin Thicke, the singer. And after I ran around the court and beat his butt, he said, I'll take a pair of those insoles you've got, because I want to run like that when I'm 70. So, when he was at the checkout, I said, you ever wake up in the morning with a little headachy or sinusy or whatever, just not sleeping well, red in your eyes? He said, every morning of my life. And I said, well, I've got this mask that I wake up every morning just relaxed and sleeping better. And it keeps the room black, which is another big aspect of sleeping well. The light comes into the room and it shuts down recovery sleep and turns on wake up sleep. And in wake up sleep, there's no recovery. So he said, I'll try one. The next week, he ordered 10 more. He said, everybody I know who's out partying till 2 or 3 in the morning and up late with entertaining. So anyway, that's the kind of response I've had with the sleep mask.
It's fantastic. And just to say, with my stepdaughter, I mean, of course, all my family have the sleep system, so she has the sleep system too. The reason she loved the cocoon is because she's often going away up into the mountains to stay at a cabin or go camping or whatever, and that's where she uses that, or when she goes traveling. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the industry, and I'm going to just throw up my notes here to give you guys a little bit of stats that I found on where it's going in terms of the sleep industry. So, globally, approximately 432 billion US dollars in 2019. That was the growth. Now the growth projection is 585 billion US dollars by 2024. So that's a huge growth. In some other place I saw the sleep aids market is expected to grow at a rate of 7.1% over the next period of time. Excuse me. And of course, the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the market significantly because people weren't sleeping well for many, many reasons, for just basic stress on all levels. And one other thing I saw that I made a note of here is it was just a note saying, "Are sleep coaches in demand?" It said, "From celebrities to busy business people, everybody seems to want a sleep coach nowadays. Finance professionals, lawyers, and doctors are even ready to pay up to $10,000 a day for sessions with a sleep coach." And I was just thinking, I mean, these stats are huge, right? To go from 432 billion to 585 billion in a matter of 5 years, that's huge growth. So, sleep coach, right? I mean, we do talk about sleep a lot, and we should talk about sleep a lot with Nikken, because it's sort of the cornerstone of the wellness home, in my opinion. I mean, I love the water, I love the air, I love everything we have, my seat that I'm sitting on, my necklace that I'm wearing, everything. But the sleep, because it's the most important aspect for our health, is sort of, to me, the real cornerstone. So I think those statistics are very, very exciting, her, because we're really well positioned with Nikken to grow in this industry. What is your take on that?
Well, exactly, Julie, because we talk about the problem of sleep is that all the habits that we have are contrary. So we've got a population of people that are sleep deprived. So it's really, any of our technologies, any one of those products is going to make an improvement that's noticeable. And it's a question I ask almost everybody: how well do you sleep? And the only time somebody says I sleep well is when they say, "Oh, my head hits the pillow and I'm sound asleep right away." Well, then I share with them that, yeah, that seems like it's a good thing, but it's really a sleep disorder. And the sleep studies show that if you instantly fall asleep, that means you're sleep deprived, and your body is so in need of sleep that you immediately hit the pillow and fall asleep. So I think there's so much more awareness now. I mean, I never saw a sleep clinic anywhere in America when I was growing up.
No.
And now there's sleep clinics everywhere where they actually have you come in and sleep, and they monitor the number of times you toss and turn. They can calculate how many times you went through REM sleep, if at all, and how many times you felt like you had to get up and go to the bathroom. They just monitor all that stuff. And so people are now being made aware that the sleep is an issue. And I mentioned when I did my book, Fit to Win, which has got a chapter on sleep.
Yes, I love your book, Fit to Win. It's a fabulous book.
Thank you. It's revelatory that sleeping is the very first place to go to start repairing and getting your body back to where you're a high performer. Now, in competitive tennis, the same thing is going on. And this is any athlete, but in tennis, I'm aware of it, that these top players like Djokovic and Federer, they've got someone coaching them on every aspect of the game. And so they've got a guy showing them how to stretch properly. They got a nutritionist. But sleep is one of the things that they're realizing, that when you play tennis, you get all that adrenaline coursing through your body. You can't fall asleep real quick. So you've got to have dietary approaches to that. You've got to do things strategies to calm your mind. In fact, just yesterday, a young man who's 20 years old won Wimbledon. He played in the finals of the French Open a month and a half ago, and he got cramps. And what they found out was he was so excited and so mentally just drained and not sleeping well that he had to pull out of the match. He couldn't continue. And then yesterday, he beat Djokovic, the number one player, in 5 sets. Djokovic had won like 45 straight matches, won Wimbledon 4 years running, and he won. But he said it was my team together, a perfect preparation. And see, he got almost no sleep the night before the match when he played in the finals of the French Open. But he got a good night's sleep. So once again, there's a good example of an athlete And I remember when I played sports, if I had a big game coming up the next morning in tennis, I would toss and turn till 1:30. I'd see the clock at 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, maybe somewhere between 1 and 2, I'd finally fall asleep. When you wake up and your eyes are tired, you are tired. So, the business of sleep is going to do nothing but explode. And they don't really have any good answers out there. Now, you look at all these all these comforters and all these different things you see on television. There's nothing there that compares with our technology. I mean, a soft pad to lay on, that's great. But ours is really a transformational experience.
Oh, that's so well said. That is so well said. It is a transformational experience. I love that. I really love that. And it's true because, people spend a lot of money on mattresses and comforters, and often they're way too soft, or it's like Tempur-Pedic or something, which I don't know if you've ever tried, but I thought it was the worst experience ever, where your body would sink in and then I'd get achy, and then part of you get too hot and part of you get too cold. And it was just like, how does anybody sleep on this? So
off gassing is a problem too. Most phones give off gas, and that's a toxic environment to sleep in.
And that's awful to think that you're sleeping in a toxic environment. I mean, no wonder you don't want to breathe, right? You just know there's toxins all around you. Yeah, I love that we don't have any toxins in our technologies that are harmful to us. And it's just so incredibly supportive. And I love it that we're finally sort of getting with the program in the world about sleep, because we're seeing more and more about it because people aren't sleeping. Like, we never used to see that. I mean, we would always see you and I, both athletes, we'd always see stuff about nutrition and of course, exercise. And both of us love that, but I don't remember ever learning about sleep. And you don't even think about it until you don't sleep. Like when I was a mother with young kids and, nursing through the night and all that, and, 3 kids in a row, very, close together. I think I went through maybe 6-7 years of interrupted sleep every night. And it was amazing to me that I could even still function, to be honest. But I did eat a really good diet and I always exercised, but I didn't have the Nikken technologies at that time, and when I got them, my kids were 9, 11, and 12. And of course, they were going into pre-pubescent times and then, puberty and teenage years. And of course, for teenagers, they need a lot of sleep, just like babies do. They're growing fast and changing radically and rapidly. And what an absolute godsend the sleep system was for each of them, because I never had to fight to get them up in the morning to go to school. It was always easy because they were on the sleep system and eating well and all exercising as well. Because it's a trifecta, I think. So all those 3 things are terribly important. Plus, good relationships with people. I mean, we're all going to get stressed. And we look at the 5 pills of health, and we're just like, stress happens. It's going to happen in different parts of our lives. And we're looking at those 5 areas and we're trying to balance and make sure we get health in each of the 5 areas. And if any area is in dis-ease, then we're going to be troubled. But I feel like our wellness home is such an unbelievable solution, along with eating really mindfully and being smart with that and exercising. It's just fabulous.
Julie, the greatest creation on earth is our body, and we're not taught how to take care of it. And that's the biggest crime. Kids are paying $200,000 for a college education, and they're not taught how to take care of their knees, how to take care of the weight that they have, not how to be careful with taking chemicals in the food that you're eating. It's just one of the saddest things. They spend all that money on education, and I ask, what did you learn about taking care of your health? Not really anything. It's not a topic that you study. And so, it's one of those things. If you don't understand sleep, one of the things that I got excited about, and I'm still excited 28 years later, is that my back was so stiff, and I was never relaxed in the morning. And after just one night, I could just feel relaxed. But after about 3 weeks, Julie, at 6'3", I can put my hands flat on the ground, standing straight up in 3 weeks. That's how much it relaxed. Just the sense of relaxation was in my body. I didn't remember what it felt like because it had been 27 years since college. And then all 4 years of college, my back was always tightened up and it never would release.
It's such a good point. Actually, I'm thinking, because in my classes that I do with gyrotonics, we do it's sometimes, not always, go to touch the ground, or most people touch their knees if they're folded over, right? They're touching their knees, or maybe they're the tips of their fingers maybe touching the floor, but I can always go all the way down with my hands, palms flat down, and get up without any problem. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to do at 66. I'm always excited about that. And it's just rejuvenation is a key component. And I know people tell you how young you look. You're in your 70s. It's amazing. I know people say that to me all the time too. Your skin is so great. You're so buoyant. You have so much energy. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I live in a Nikken wellness home, and I use all the Nikken products, and I do use all the nutritionals as well.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to share with people too, that the body doesn't have that many requirements. You want to hydrate, you want to sleep, and the nutrition, it's logical. You want to be very discerning in what you eat. And the wellness home puts you in such an environment, and I don't miss out. I take every nutritional that's offered, and I have for as long as they've offered them. And I can tell you that that's a big part of what is important. And one of my favorite things to share with people is that I learned in a clinic for skincare about 18 years ago that skin is about three things. It's what you eat and what you put on your skin, especially on the face, and hydration. And listen to this. The two major contributing factors to weight management are sleep and hydration. And we're the world leader in both of them.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, I know we're coming up to the end, and I would love you to share what you shared with me before we got on this call, which is about your trip that you're taking to Wimbledon.
Well, tell you what, it's one of those things I don't want to tell too many people, but when you take up tennis in high school and you have good fortune enough to be on the state championship team and then be a state champ in tennis, and then you go to college, and I had the good fortune to make it to the US Open in 7 years, singles and doubles. But then my back became a problem, so I didn't get to play competitively after college. And that goal that I had of playing at Wimbledon was unfulfilled. But I was sharing this morning on a prayer call. I said, God can make a way sometimes when there's not really any way. And I got a phone call a month and a half ago. A student of mine, formerly from Canada, went to a fundraiser for Canada, Tennis Canada, and there was a chance to bid on a day at Wimbledon. And he bid $17,000 for two people to go to Wimbledon and play a match on the grass courts, tour the grounds, and have lunch in the dining room, which is impossible unless you're a member or one of the championship tennis players. So 3 days from now, Julie, I'll be playing tennis on the grass courts at Wimbledon. A dream come true.
I love that. Herb. That's such a wonderful story. I used to live in Wimbledon, actually.
I didn't know you lived there. Wow.
Yeah, I lived in many parts of London, and Wimbledon was one area. So I wish you Godspeed on that trip and a wonderful experience. I think it's so exciting that you get to fulfill that dream. And Nikken has fulfilled many dreams for many people on many, many levels. So we're always grateful for Nikken for that. So thank you, Herb, so much for your time today. I'm going to be thinking about you in 3 days. Plan.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And we'll talk soon. Don't forget to follow this podcast and share it with all those you know and love. Bye for now.